Man, if y'all not pissed over there in Baltimore, this video for sure will make you pissed. Because I'm gonna tell you what, with my digging and what they're talking about right here, whoo, man, whoo, you gotta wait and see. What's going on YouTube? Is your host Bruce GNT, and we're here to talk about what's going on in Baltimore, right? Because apparently the inspector general over there has been looking into the mayor's office, and what she is seeing is not right. Because in my personal opinion, right, and this is my opinion, I'm not saying it's fact, there's some funky shit going on with taxpayer money. But let's not waste any time, let's jump right in.
Tonight, a scathing new report from the Inspector General's office is raising concerns over how the mayor's office is choosing to spend tax dollars. The investigation finds hundreds of purchases missing prior approval. Much of it's been on food, flowers, and luxury stadium suites. Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor joins us live tonight, breaking down where the money went, how much was spent, and the mayor's response. Rebecca?
Yeah, this new report puts spending within the mayor's office under a microscope. Investigators now sounding the alarm on more than $100,000 worth of unapproved purchases and what they call a severe lack of oversight.
That little pamphlet she has right there, I found it online, because that's the beautiful thing about technology. You can look this shit up, and I implore a lot of people to do so, because if you really want to see where the money's going within your city, within your state, there's a lot of cases where you could just try to find it as best as you can. It took me, I wouldn't even say 5 minutes. It took me like 3 minutes to find it. But we're gonna go over that a little bit later.
Inside the wallets of more than 200 government employees. City-issued purchase cards, commonly referred to as P cards. Think of them as company credit cards using taxpayer dollars. Tasked with watching over the hundreds of cardholders making thousands of transactions, just one city auditor, triggering the city's watchdog to step in.
One person can't be responsible for tens of thousands of transactions because they're 8 months behind already. We need to have more compliance and oversight in order to protect the taxpayers' money. And this report outlines that clearly.
An anonymous hotline complaint leading Inspector General Isabel Cummings' office to look into P-card spending within the mayor's office specifically. Their investigation finding over...
You heard that? You heard it? Anonymous? We talked about this before, and I said in many other videos, right? This ain't the first time this is going on, all right? This has been going on for years. I don't care what anybody says. This didn't just start with this current mayor in Baltimore, right? You can't make me believe that. These are just the people that got caught. And I say time and time again, when people get caught, it's because they either did something stupid or someone snitched and someone opened their mouth. Trust me, we're gonna go over it because it's wild.
Roughly the last 3 years, 4 P cards collectively making nearly 2,000 purchases, totaling more than $1 million, of which $167,000 spent without proper approval from the city's Bureau of Procurement.
The vast majority of what waivers weren't received was actually food. It's about 295 different purchases lacked waivers.
I legit just did a video talking about this woman over there in San Francisco that ran a nonprofit, and she was apparently embezzling the money, right? And I said, it's a sad thing, but when black people do stuff like this, it's 3 things you're gonna see them spend money on: cars, Louis Vuitton or some type of like name brand, and food. And I'm telling you right now, time and time again, I'm getting proven right, because this is just crazy. And like I said, we're gonna go over it. I keep saying it and I'm holding off on it, but it's crazy shit.
That were pretty substantial amounts.
The IG finding 468 food-related transactions.
You see that right there? Let's read through it. Food catering categories per card, 7/1/2022 to 11/17/2025. All right, other, and then that's across other cards. 89,000. So in other words, I'm guessing other means things that don't really fit into the food category of events, games, meetings, city council cabinet meetings, acknowledgements, celebrations. It's those things that they can't really designate. So maybe like them picking up snacks and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Events, which I'm kind of surprised they're not combining these two. But yeah, events. You see that? Total over the course of what? 4 years? No, 3 years, right? $76,000. Orioles and Ravens games. That was one that I saw in the report was crazy to me, because it was like, yo, these dudes are racking it up at these games. And I appreciate, kind of not really, the fact they're not saying the names of these people, but I'm very much interested to see who these people were. I think this one might be the mayor. Allegedly. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying my opinion. Look at that. $52,000. Look at all this shit. Meetings and office supplies. Crazy work, man. I've done videos talking about how downtown Baltimore is suffering. The Cheesecake Factory is closing down in downtown. The Cheesecake Factory is closing down in downtown Baltimore. Like they can't make any money. But this is how your politician, your elected officials are spending. Think about that for a second.
Totaling $230,000. Of that, $52,000 spent on food and beverages during Orioles and Ravens games inside the mayoral suite at both stadiums. In another instance, an administrator reportedly demanding a, quote, fresh fruit tray available to everyone in the mayor's suite daily. The report also flagging purchases investigators say are flat out prohibited, citing at least one transaction for Tito's vodka during a Ravens game.
The rules of the city government should apply to everyone equally. In most agencies, people, when they have celebrations, they collect the money. They don't use the taxpayer funds because most throughout the city, most would never be approved.
The report also finding purchases the mayor's office made through the city's vendor payment platform ballooning from $380,000 in 2022 to $4.5 million in 2025. In a written response, the mayor's office pushing back on the findings, saying they lack context and that many fixes were already underway before the report was released, including retraining staff on P-card usage and creating a new fiscal oversight position, which...
So let me get this straight. It's out of context. You spent the money and then you're talking about how your downtown is suffering because... Oh, man. Remember, this is the same mayor that I reported on. His car was like $163,000, right? Remember that. There's also the same mayor whose wife was part of a nonprofit and he didn't disclose that because of conflict of interest, and her company was getting all this money. This is also the same I talked about like a year ago, right? Where the salaries of people under him is higher than the governor of their state. I got another video coming out about that. Don't worry, we'll get there. But that's just insane to me, out of context. And you heard the last part, right? They want to create a oversight, a money oversight like position to handle all that. So in other words, more spending of the taxpayers' money to give this person a salary to do things that they already have in place set up to show, hey, look, you can't be spending this money. Because what he said, right, is that, hey, look, a lot of this stuff was already underway. I read in the report that it was even saying that, hey, they're told often, the card holders, right, make it happen when it comes to them waiting for, them to get certain waivers. We're going to go through it. Like I said, we're going to go through it.
Cummings says her office will continue to provide as well.
We will keep doing what the citizens want us to do, which is oversight, and we will keep following up to make sure that what they tell the citizens is indeed the truth.
The report released at the same time the IG is suing City Hall over access to financial documents within the mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, or MONSE. A legal fight that will ultimately determine how much oversight her office can provide moving forward.
Our job is to follow the money. In order to follow the money correctly, I have to outline where the money went. And this is a perfect example. This is where the money went, for $131,000. And that's our job.
Cumming officially filing that lawsuit against the city just yesterday. Reporting live from outside of City Hall, Rebecca.
Crazy work. Look, another thing that people need to sit down and read digest, because I know it was said, and I know you heard it, but I need you to really understand this. The P cards is what they give these officials, the council members, the mayor, and everything like that. They give them that so they can spend. That is the taxpayer money. They're still getting their own salary. But let's jump into this report real quick. Food-related purchases. The OIG reviewed the cards fuel transactions to evaluate expended in this area, including the purpose of these transactions and adherence to the P-card waiver requirements. The review found about 468 food-related transactions during the review period, totaling $233,000, $426.12. I said that weird, don't judge me. According to the P-card manuals, food or catering was not listed as requiring a BOP waiver until August 1st, 2023, when version 1.0 was issued. After August 1st, 2023, the food catering restriction was added to the P card manual, and the review identified roughly 295 transactions totaling $148,802,093 that would have required a BOP waiver. The OIG identified 9 submitted waivers for food by the cardholders that matched P card records during the review period, which accounts for only 3% of the 295 food transactions. In other words, they only did it about that much, 3%. All the other stuff that was needing a waiver, nope, the other 97%. And I wonder, is it because they knew they wasn't gonna get approved and they knew they were gonna get away with it, or they just didn't know? Most likely the former. But let's look at the spending right here. Chart spending on food per card, and I really wonder who these cards were because it just says, it doesn't say like the person name. This isn't like within 1 year, from July 1st, 2022 to November 17th, 2025. But still, that's a lot of money. Taxpayer money, remember that. $131,376.68 right there, card number 2. $82,067.69, card number 1. $11,845.75, card number 4, and $8,136, card number 3. That's insane, man. Like, look at these numbers and shit. Like, for real, this is just, and we already saw these numbers and everything like that, but and the reason why I'm so stuck on it is because these are the same people that are going to sit down and complain and say, well, the city doesn't have any money. Oh, no one's investing in the city. No one's investing in the city. Yes, they are investing in the city, but you have your officials just spending up the money. And then they're going to need even more money, ask for more money. And then they're going to give themselves even pay raises. That's the insulting part. They're going to give themselves a pay raise after spending your money. Ain't that wild? Now, this right here, this is the kicker. Taxpayer funds used for food, beverages at Orioles and Ravens games. Let me ask you something, Baltimore people, or people that, you know, in Maryland, or just in general, people. How many times have you been to an Orioles or Ravens game? How many times? And if you have, how much money you spend on the food? Or did you pack a little, you know, snack food and everything like that? And depending on the stadium, sometimes they might allow it, they might not allow it. I think most stadiums don't allow it. But yeah, let's think about that for a second as I read through this, all right? The OIG learned that the city has a mayoral suite at Oriole Park at Camden Yards and M&T Bank Stadium for events. A review of P-card transactions and waivers showed that taxpayer funds have been used to pay for meal and drink expenses at Camden Yards and M&T Bank during Baltimore Orioles and Ravens games. Witnesses stated that this practice had been ongoing under prior mayoral administrations. Like I said, these are not the first instances of these things happening. It's the first time people are getting caught. I'm under no illusion that people are just all of a sudden acting out. No. The reason they're doing this is because this has been a culture that has been cultivated to make people believe, hey, look, don't worry about spending all that money. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. A cardholder explained that the mayor's office P card is used and the mayor's office utilizes the suite, but if another agency has access to the suite, they must use their own P card. Cardholders explained that a card for the mayor's office is kept on file at Camden Yards and that cardholders are usually not present when it is used. During the review period, the mayoral P card spent $52,588.78 at the mayoral suite. Of this, $48,819.39 was spent on these stadium vendors after the release of version 1.0, when a waiver became a requirement for food purchases. There are no waivers for these transactions under BOP policy, nor did the OIG observe waivers submitted through Workday by the cardholders as of November 17, 2025. Figures 3-6 show a sampling of food and drinks purchased at Camden Yards and M&T Bank Stadium. Look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. The chicken tender and sauce zone. Oh, are these the places? Maryland crab cakes. I fuck with that. I ain't gonna lie. I love me some crab cakes. I ain't reading through all this, but look at this. This is insane. And I think this is just a snapshot. Yeah. I think of this. No, that can't be right. That can't just be for one day. No. It might be. Yeah, November 23rd, 2025, September 22nd, 2025. Oh, that might be for one day. Damn, it was running up on one day. Damn, they love them some crab cakes. I can't blame them. Crab cakes, they bomb, they slap. And I know stadium food is not cheap. It's not cheap. Damn, that's crazy work. Well, look, I'm gonna end it out with this because I don't want this video to be too long, but this is free. I'm gonna put the link in the description down below so you guys could look for yourselves. But this is just insane. Like, you guys have to understand that they're spending your money. All right. They're spending your money in ways that you don't even spend your own money. Right. Because how many of y'all have been to Orioles game, a Ravens game? How many of y'all have spent this much, right, to eat? I know I haven't. I mean, this ain't my city, but I know I haven't. I've been to a few games, and guess what? The food ain't cheap, but they spending y'all money on it though. And even though I'm sitting here talking about this, and I want people to understand and really like see what's going on, I know it's not going to matter because no one's going to do anything about it. Because you're just going to keep voting for the same people. You're not going to hold them to task, and you're not going to be in the streets rioting like you do for other shit and talking about, hey, they're damn near spending and stealing your money. That's what they're doing. They're stealing from you. I mean, that's how I see it. But I could be wrong. I could be off. All I'm saying is this. Look at this. Y'all money, by the way. But, you know, do what y'all want. Well, you guys already know the drill. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. The people that are in Baltimore, right? Or Maryland in general. How do you feel about this? Like, for real, let me know in the comments down below. And if you're outside of that area, if you don't live there, you got family there, whatever have you, just want to put down how you feel, let me know what you're thinking about this. Because this is just insane. This is crazy. This is some funky ass money. All right. So let me know how you feel in the comments down below. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.